this is another series I'm trying out. I brought on Dan Dilemma. He's a guy made out of boxes, and I'm sure he'll try to put on a show for you. I'm sorry, but I'll give you the opening, and then I'll give it to Dan. Hello, all 296 of you. I'm Redkwan, and this is the game Zamboni. Oh, I didn't see you there. I was just eating my foot. Ah, yes, it is I, Dan Dilemma. Welcome to my show, the game Zamboni. Why is it called the game Zamboni? Because I'm pretty sure no one else has a show called the game Zamboni. Also because it cleans up. Well, I guess Zambonis do more of a resurfacing, but hey, that's whatever. And in this episode, which is probably going to be the only episode seeing as old man Redkwan said if it don't do so well, we ain't getting renewed for a second season, we're going to talk about my idea for a game called Jorgo Borgo, which if you plop into Google Translate in a few different chunks and do a bit of scrambling magic, turns into the uber inspirational, go above, go live. I was thinking I would make something about robots, but the folks who speak Kurdish say otherwise. So the game starts off with a cinematic of a frog who looks up as the sun rises over the rolling hills, and then, just as the sun looks like it's about to go up over his head, he shouts, "Jorgo Borgo, go above, go live!" And then he goes above the sun and is still alive, and I guess that means he's going above and living. And then the robots come, and the robots, they ain't happy with the whole Jorgo Borgo saying, because as everyone knows, robots can't go above because they can't jump. And they can't live because they're a pile of metal. So they're a little bit upset at this frog, and they kick the frog out of the rolling hills because robots are jerks. And that's your motivation for the game. Not that you really need any, because like I said, robots are jerks, but that's how it starts. And so the frog must return to the rolling hills and destroy all the robots. Alternatively, the frog could give life to all the robots by stealing the collective consciousness of humanity, but I thought that might be a little too dark for a game about a frog who shouts inspirational sayings based off gibberish I came up with. But it's not just some adventure game or some platformer where you go do it. No, on the game Zamboni, especially the first episode, and probably the only episode, Dan Dilemma is going all out. So the adventure isn't so much about getting to the rolling hills, most of the game takes place there. But what is happening is the frog goes undercover as a robot and has to destroy robot culture from the inside. So he goes around in this poorly made robot, tricking other robots to do stupid stuff that'll get them deactivated, and probably by framing other robots for stuff. It'll be more of a game based off interactions with robots and trying to mess stuff up than anything else. And basically, the whole goal is to blend in with robot society and secretly tear it to rubble, and get the other robots deactivated along the way. You might trick a robot into delivering an exploding baboon to the robot warehouse and blowing everything up to deactivate him. Or you might knock down a building and put the crowbar in some recharging robot's hand. Maybe it's more of a puzzle game, I don't know. I'd imagine it would be 3D, and it would have to be pretty open. Not as in a big world, but at least in that you could kinda do whatever you felt like. And you would probably get instructions from that guy who sits on a computer hacking from the outside or something, like in the movies. Probably named something like Frog the Salad, who would also try to bring it all down and take back the rolling hills. Frog the Salad would give you instructions on kinda what you were supposed to do, but honestly, you could just kinda do whatever you wanted. You could break everything and beat up all the robots and yell Jorgo Borgo at the top of your lungs in front of the leader of the robot kingdom and see what happens. That would be mapped to the A button. And if they realized it was you, I think it would be awesome if the robots had some AI that allowed them to chase you down, but you could escape it potentially if you found a good hiding spot or somehow framed another robot. Gee, this game is basically framing robots. This is just terrible. But the ending of the game would be the best part. So the ending of the game would be with just the robot king and the frog left. And the frog would say, Jorgo Borgo! And then the king would see what's going on. And he would go completely insane and be like, beep boop, this is the frog, and he's only disguised as a robot. Beep boop, that's not at all what I was expecting. Beep boop, My AI isn't very advanced, I guess. Come on, Google, this is 2050 after all. Beep boop. And then they would go into an all-out brawl. But no matter what you do, the Robot King would be one step ahead of you. You could mash B all you wanted, but the king would see your attack coming, and the frog would have no way to fool the king, and would lie defeated on the ground. But then, when the king goes to stomp on the frog to knock his lights out, the frog would yell, "Jorgo, Borgo, go above, go live," in slow motion, miraculously jump off the ground and straight into the robot, where he would probably cause some problems or something. Hooray! I haven't figured that all out yet, but the point is, the frog would be revived and would regain his rolling hills through the power of an inspirational saying. And the moral of the story here is that inspirational sayings and cheesy cat posters can and probably will save your life. So until next time, hang in there. Well, that was the game Zamboni. This is where you unsubscribe. I'm sorry about Dan Dilemma. All he ever really wanted was some recognition and maybe some blueberry pie. And I felt bad that he never really got any. So I gave him what he wanted. I'm sure he did like that pie. And this is probably up there with the worst videos on my channel, and definitely the weirdest. And I'm not planning to renew this show for another season, so this is probably a one-time deal. The world can breathe a big sigh of relief. But anyways, I'm Redkwan, thank you all for watching, and I'll hopefully see you all later. Goodbye.